And that's the most unfortunate bit, that there are two people that have ended up ending their lives. One is accusing the other of corruption. There is investigation that is going on in one particular case. The task is cut out for the state government, isn't it? Because so far, Anand, we only saw the DGP being sent on leave. There are no criminal proceedings against anybody involved. So there has to be some sort of high-level inquiry that is initiated against both these claims that are now being made.
Yes, there will have to be a high-level inquiry. It may have to be court-monitored or under the aegis of the SC/ST Commission members. It would have to be a committee because all aspects will have to be considered. Was a person of an upper caste being deliberately targeted by a person of a lower caste rather than vice versa is a big question. Was somebody using this caste card to try and run a ring of corruption, or is the caste card being now added so as to gloss over acts of corruption and also of vilifying the entire police system by certain entities? These are all questions that need impartial investigation and then drawing to conclusion, because two people have ended their lives. In this case, there was nothing, no investigation on I.O. Sandeep Radar. I.O. Sandeep Radar was an investigating officer. Why is it that he ended his life? The reason why? Was there immense pressure subject on him? And will a dying man make a false statement is another question, because if that's going to drive him to end his life, is there merit to his claims? Is there CCTV proof that Y. Puran Kumar and his aides were indulging in corruption? Are there more who will step up and corroborate I.O. Sandeep Radar's story? The other part is, Y. Puran Kumar, was he really discriminated against? Was action taken against him based on his caste or based on his caliber and his conduct? Now, that is also a subject matter, because any police report and any transfer posting that happens, which is a punishment posting, there will be evidence on record in the police records. It may not be made public, but if it is subject to scrutiny, they will have it on record why certain measures have been taken. So clearly, those answers will also come to the fore. But this is a very, very bizarre twist, and it also throws to light that can this entire discrimination can it also be used? This caste card, can it also be misused? Is it being misused by certain officers? Does power corrupt, and absolute power corrupt? Absolutely. And is there a case, is there a simile to that in this matter with the case of Y. Puran Kumar? Or is it that there was a system and that system got upended because some people got caught, and now others are trying to escape playing this caste card? So there are many, many questions to this, and only a detailed investigation by a committee which has representatives from all factors to cover all angles, and then for them to come back with an impartial probe is what is going to be important. But yes, it will give the Naib Singh Saini government some headaches, because the entire police system now comes under scrutiny in Haryana.
Absolutely. And we've seen, Anand, the politics take center stage on the sidelines as well, with Rahul Gandhi visiting the family today, making it about Dalits not just in Haryana but across the country, and how the BJP was letting them down. That too will now come under scrutiny, because there is another side to the story that has emerged.
Yes, in the sense that politicians can jump to play the caste card based on a particular vote bank and an appeal, but corrupt can be anywhere. There is no reason to segregate corrupt and not corrupt based on their caste. Misuse of authority, misuse of power can be done by any individual because of the position that they are in. And is there a different side to the story? And should politicians refrain from jumping to conclusion because this is a convenient escape? That is something which needs to be questioned. And are certain officers being deliberately vilified, not because of their caliber or conduct, but because of their caste? That's another matter that perhaps people in public life need to show a certain level of restraint and probity and allow the details to come to the fore. Because, like you said, Mr. Rahul Gandhi may have embarrassed himself if the claims made by I.O. Sandeep Radar are true. So then does a person's caste absolve that person from any act of corruption, any act of misconduct, or bringing the uniform disrepute? It does not. So one has to wait for an impartial investigation so that the truth is sifted and separated from perhaps fiction and hearsay.
And that's something that needs to be separated. It is the job of the state governments to ensure that they do that. So far, like I said, there are no criminal proceedings against anyone involved. One of the police officers involved that was named by Vaipuran Kumar, one of them was transferred. The other one has now been sent on leave. There will be departmental inquiry that is conducted against them. Perhaps try to figure out whether the allegations that were made by Vaipuran Kumar were actually true. But even as that investigation would take place, we now see another suicide letter, another suicide that take place of a man who was investigating an aide of Vaipuran Kumar that was allegedly involved in corruption. There are allegations that are now flying, the exact same allegations that Vaipuran Kumar made against his seniors. Those allegations are now being made against him and his staff members, which is why there seems to be some sort of inquiry that is extremely important to figure out what exactly transpired. Also, Anand, it's important to figure out if there were just these couple of individuals that were involved, or was the rot running much deeper?
Well, that's what the IO Sandeep Radha's letter very clearly states. We have accessed it here, 3 pages of that letter, of that suicide note. It's a multi-page suicide note and a detailed note, which actually comes out and says the institution was running properly. There was no discrimination. Everybody was given an equal chance based on merit. We were honestly going about doing our jobs. And suddenly IG Vaipuran Kumar comes in place, and he then institutes and he places people of questionable repute, who IG Sandeep Radha, IO Sandeep Radha very clearly says were corrupt. And then there was a brazen ring of corruption. Now it is up to those traders and vyaparis who he claims were physically and mentally tortured so that huge amounts of money could be extracted from them. If some of those people come out and say, yes, we did pay, then the allegations of corruption against Vaipuran Kumar and his coterie then stick. Also, we have to always remember, why was Vaipuran Kumar shunted? Was he shunted after a department inquiry, and whether or not, and because his gunman was caught with money in his file? And was that caught in a CCTV? Will a gunman collect money outside of the instructions of his senior officer? Is that possible? What was the investigation under police terms? And did they, because it's a high-ranking officer, because they didn't want to out an instance of corruption, did the transfer posting happen as a punishment for an act unbecoming of a senior police officer? That is something which will be there in police records, and perhaps it will come forth. The other part is, did Vaipuran Kumar name a few senior officers because he felt that they had done him injustice by posting him, shunting him off? Who are these senior officers? They are now being sent on leave, or they've been transferred. But will they get a chance to redeem themselves and explain their point of view before they are vilified? Is their ability, caliber, merit and conduct below or lower than their caste? Should caste considerations only matter, or should all the other aspects matter and not caste when it comes to matters of uniform, probity in office and conduct of an officer? These are things which are subject to an inquiry, and a detailed inquiry at that. And if there was a criminal act, if there was motive, if there was torture, if there was abetment, then such people should be made criminally culpable, and appropriate action should be taken. But this now merits, given these 2 cases, 2 sides to this entire story, 2 officers who have ended their life, this cannot now be brushed under the carpet. There has to be a detailed, in-depth inquiry, and that too a high-level inquiry in this matter.
Absolutely. Anand, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that, and of course putting that in perspective. We'll keep a track of how the Haryana government goes from here on, because like I said, the task is cut out for the Naib Singh Saini government to ensure that the allegations that are being made by police officers within the state government, allegations of corruption, allegations of casteism, those need to be probed and the truth needs to come out.